Previously on Irae.
まずいくつか俺の方から質問する。それに答えられる範囲で答えてくれ。ただし、嘘は絶対言うなよ。
了解。じゃあそうしましょう。質問どうぞ。
普通じゃないのはわかる。あんなふざけたなりして夜出歩いてる時点でまともじゃない。お前ら殺人事件に何か関係でもあるのか？
そうね。関係あるのはむしろあなたの方じゃないの？
俺が犯人だって？
あら、違うのかしら？
サラトゥストラってのは？
さあ、なんでしょうね。
俺をそう呼んでただろ。
ええ、確かにそうだけど、あなたは否定したじゃない。違うの？
違わない。
別に話してもいいんだけどね。あなた理解できないでしょうし、どうしようかな。ねえ、レン君、少し聞きたいんだけど、あなた、ご両親は日本の人？
何？
だから、あなたの家系は純粋な日本人かって聞いてるのよ。
だからなんでそんなことを聞くんだって言ってんだよ。
いやね、みんな気にしてるようだからね。
みんな？
ええ、私の仲間。まだ全員集合してないけどね、半分くらいは揃ってるわ。そのうち勢ぞろいするはずだから、その時のために聞いてるの。
2、3日中にシュピーネが来る。お前、あいつに会ったことは
？5年ほど前に一度だけ。あまり好きなタイプじゃない。そんなに危険な相手だったと？
ああ、やばいね。あいつはちょっとおかしすぎた。面と向かって口聞けたのは狩猟とマキナの2人くらいさ。お前はやっぱり知らないだろうが、ザミエルやシュライバーでも一線引いてたくらいなんだぜ。波のイカレ野郎じゃなかったのよ。
お前にそう言われたらおしまいのような気もするな。
Episode 13 Merkur. Welcome back, everybody, to Irae Amantes Amentes. I do apologize there were no videos on Monday. I was not feeling very well, and recording was kind of out of the question. But we're back with more. Contrary to my mood, classes today ended without incident. Classmates around me were getting up from their desks, ready to head home while chatting about things of little consequence. It doesn't look like they'll be suspending school after all. Think club activities will start back up soon? Not until they catch the killer, but you think they're still in the city? Don't know. But why they suddenly stop killing? Heck if I know, but they might not be able to hold themselves back for much longer. That's what they're doing. Like, maybe they're about to blow. Whoa, that's scary. Let's hurry on home. And they were right on that count. Not the whole killing part, but rather that I was reaching my mental limit. It had only been about a week since the killing stopped, but the murderer was taking 2 victims per day up until then. So those girls' predictions probably wasn't off. Everyone must have been thinking the same thing. The killer is gone. Or maybe they'll return and kill even more people per day than before. Unfortunately, I knew very well that the former was unlikely. The killer was in the city. He was holding his breath, restraining his impulses, disguising himself as an ordinary citizen, holding himself back, even at this very moment as he... I muttered a brief phrase of self-deprecation. Deprecation? Depreciation. Deprecation is right. I've been having all these worthless thoughts ingrained in me thanks to my talk with Rusalka earlier. Oh, Rusalka. I don't know what you people see in her. People like her, though. I don't. God damn it! What the hell is she doing here? Once you eliminated the impossible, whatever remained, no matter how improbable, must be the truth. Rusalka's words. It was too sound of an argument for me to refute it. However, it would have been too much of a problem to simply admit it was correct. First of all, I simply did not want to readily agree to what she told me.
るさいな。早く帰れよ。目障りだ。
うわ、ひっとなんかご機嫌斜めだね。
I hate annoying girls. I already have enough of them in my life. I don't need another one.
邪魔だ。
From an outsider's perspective, it might have looked like I was bullying her. But I'd never been one to care about appearances to begin with.
一緒に帰りたいとか思ってるんだけど。
Huh.
ダメだな。お前らが帰った後に俺も帰る。
We damn well you stay in the school. I wouldn't be able to remain calm otherwise. I sent her a glare that conveyed that very sentiment, but Rusalka responded with a laugh like it didn't concern. I couldn't believe this girl. Could not believe her.
それくらいにしときなさい。しつこい女は嫌われるわよ。
Just then, rescue arrived from an unexpected source, as Sakurai took control of the grumbling Rusalka.
だいたいあなたは昼間誘われたでしょ。それで満足しなさいよ。
でもまだ話足りないのに。
拗ねてもダメ。それからあんまり子供っぽいこと言ってると余計に嫌われるだけなんじゃない？
Thank you. Someone finally gets it.
じゃあなに？レイ君は大人っぽい子が好きなわけ？
Shut up.
俺の好みなんかどうでもいいだろ。さっさとどっか行ってくれ。
そう。じゃあ私たちは失礼するけど、藤井君も。
Turning back to me, Sakurai made a frown. Turn that frown upside down.
なんだよ。
She then gave me one hell of a glare. I began instinctively backing up, but
綾瀬さん、藤井君の顔色が良くない。見てあげて。
what?
私？
そう、友達なんでしょ。彼、なんだか今にも倒れそう。
Oh, jeez. Knowing that you could probably kill me at any moment. How dare I reflectively back away? Kasumi looked at me with a startled expression. She would always come over to me even if no one called her, so what was she doing now? She hadn't even got ready to go home yet.
私たちは帰るから、あとお願いね。
ありがとう、桜井さん。
どういたしまして。それじゃあ、行くわよ、シュベーゲリ。
Schwaglin.
なんか私だけ蚊帳の外。
Though she said all that, Rusalka proceeded to leave the classroom at Sakura's urging. Once I confirmed that they were gone, I breathed this mental sigh of relief. And it's scary that Ray doesn't even know anything about him. I don't know what Sakurai was thinking, but I'd be safer now. That said,
レン、大丈
her name's Raya, right? Raya's the other girl, right? I keep getting them mixed up. I'm sorry. How was I supposed to deal with her?
夫？なんか本当に顔色悪いね。ごめん、私気づかなくて。
いいよ、別に。実際大したことじゃない。
でも
大丈夫。
She's worried for us. I mean, we knew she would be, but we can't tell her why. I mean, honestly, would you believe it? I know I wouldn't. I wasn't like some old man who collapsed in the heat from not getting enough sleep for a mere 7 days. I responded to Kasumi in the most cheerful tone I could muster.
それよりお前、今日も剣のお稽古なんだろ。付き合うから早く支度しろよ。
Practice that kendo.
だけどあんたは先に帰った方がいいんじゃない？寝ないとダメだよ。
Oh my god. We're gonna fall asleep at some point. It's physically impossible to not sleep. But it'd be worse if I fell asleep. I obviously couldn't say that, although I mean, I was grateful that she worried about me, and the fault lay with me for letting my exhaustion show. But I had to get my way here. If I couldn't rest anyway, it was better to be with Kasumi than to go home to an empty apartment. Admittedly, I did feel pathetic about it, but what could you do, right? felt much more at ease with her around.
ボディーガードなしで帰るなんてそんな怖いことできないな。しっかり守ってくれなきゃ困る。
私真面目に言ってるのに。
So am I.
俺も真面目に言ってるんだけどな。
Ren, let me do the talking for you, buddy.
どこがよ。もう嘘ばっかり。いいわよ。わかった。わかりましたよ。あんたがそんな感じなら本当は稽古中止にしたいんだけど。
習慣なんだろ。続けた方がいい。
I'm sure missing one day of training isn't gonna kill her.
そう言うと思ったから困ってるんじゃない。私も今日はサボりたくないし。
I was gonna drop a line about how truly diligent she was, but I stopped myself. There was no need to mock her, really.
じゃあ、なるべく早いとこ済ませてくれよ。
偉そうに言わないでよね、この不健康児が。
I haven't been to sleep in a week. And with that exchange out of the way, we finally left the classroom. I'm surprised I can even stand at this point. I watched over Kasumi's practice session, as I'd always had. But today she was putting more spirit than usual, exuding a somewhat blood-curdling aura. Ooh, I like this music. Let's listen to it for a minute. I usually just sat down and nodded off as I watched her. All thoughts of sleep left me in the face of that drive. Before I knew it, I was watching her practice in a state of awe. I had to revise my opinion. She truly was serious about this. I found it impressive enough that she trained herself every day without a break, but there was also that earnestness of hers. I honestly could have never done that. I wasn't particularly fickle with things, but for the longest time now, I'd had this habit of never putting any real effort into anything I did. And now it was too late for me to find something I could genuinely be serious about. You know, when you did everything in such a wishy-washy, half-assed way, even the flow of time would want to take a break and slow down. Or so I thought. That prolonged day-to-day life was initially shattered by Shiru. And now by those freaks. This was pointless. Thinking about all that now wouldn't change a thing. It's here. It's real. It's happening right now. And I can't do a damn thing to stop it. I slammed my head into the wall as I sat cross-legged in a corner of the dojo, making sure I was quiet enough not to disrupt practice. I seriously had to get over this terrible habit of trying to instantly remember the most useless of things. Otherwise, I'd fall into a cycle of self-loathing and turn into a pessimistic mess. If I could just neatly and nicely chuck all my pain and worries out the window, that'd be nice and all. But I knew full well that I couldn't do that. Which was why I kept worrying and suffering. The pain doesn't just go away. The worries don't stop. You know, I wondered if Kasumi had to deal with things like that too. You know, despite her short temper, simplicity, liveliness, and questionable femininity, I knew she had an apparent delicate side to her. Or at least I tried to keep it in mind. I mean, we'd known each other a long time and everything. So perhaps all this practice was just a coping mechanism for that, like a ceremony she conducted to quell her raging heart. I took in Kasumi's breathing. She breathed in and then out, inhaling another deep breath. The sheer ferocity of her strike was clear and evident to even a complete amateur like myself, causing me to tense up all over. Not bad, Kasumi. That was cool. I would normally make a quip like that, but Kasumi looked extremely serious as she readjusted for another strike. I'd probably be risking my life by teasing her at a moment like this. Seemed like she was going to keep going, but I found myself getting a little doubtful as I took note of how strange her face looked. But I mean, if you don't take your training seriously, then what good is training, right? I mean, you have to take your training as seriously as you would a real fight. Otherwise, what's the point? No point in training if one was just going to slack off. I mean, that much I agreed with. Taking it seriously was fine and all, but this felt entirely too violent. That technique she just pulled off was indeed amazing. So good that if it was a picture, you'd want to frame it and hang it up on the wall. But with the title, Killing Blow. In other words, to use a cliched expression, she was frenzied. She was swinging her bamboo sword with the intent of killing her imaginary opponent. At least it looked that way to me.
Kasumi? Oi.
Kasumi made no answer. I couldn't tell if she was ignoring me or if she was just too absorbed in her practice. I didn't get it. You know, it was Kasumi herself who once told me that a blade can not only kill a foe, it can also save a life. She explained that Kendo's history of teaching techniques to murder people ended with the Westernization movement in the Meiji era. From then on, Kendo was taught not about how to kill, but how to keep others alive. Wasn't Kasumi the ace disciple who, while smiling ear to ear, told me all about how a sword was meant for protecting others? Hell, hearing it even made me embarrassed. So what was she doing now? For a moment, I could have sworn I spotted Kasumi's lips sliding into a sinister grin. My heart suddenly sprang up for no reason.
Kasumi.
A single swing from Kasumi shattered the training dummy to splinters. I couldn't believe my eyes. She blown a mounted and armored training dummy from its pedestal clear to the other end of the dojo. There was no technique or skill to the act. It was a blow encompassing all of her might, as well as a strike otherwise impossible to pull off with her strength. Holy shit, what the hell was that?
Oi!
Alright, what's going on? I hurried over to Kasumi.
お前、いきなり何やってんだよ!
I grabbed her by the shoulders, giving them a quick shake. She made no answer and was clearly spacing out, but after a few moments, light finally returned to her eyes.
Ren?
What the hell happened?
何よ、いきなり。
I could ask you the same thing.
何よって、お前。
That strike of hers bent the bamboo sword right near the middle. Not even an adult male could have pulled that off.
どうしたのよ、変な顔して。私が何か。
Judging from her reaction, she did not seem to be aware of her own actions, though I hesitated over whether or not to tell her. I couldn't exactly hide it from her either. Kasumi found herself at a loss for words as she raised the bent bamboo sword in her hand up to her eyes.
私、これ、私が。
I didn't answer.
とりあえず手離せ。こんなの握ってると怪我する。それから片付けは俺がしとくから着替えてこいよ。帰ろうぜ。
でも。
かすみ。
I knew it was kind of unlike me, but I gently gave Kasumi's hair a light ruffle.
俺、腹減ってんだよ。早く帰って何か食わないと死ぬ。な。
After I pried her fingers off the handle of her bamboo sword, Kasumi gave me a feeble nod and hurried off into the changing room. I was confused. What was that?
まあ、女にはそういう日もあ
Oh,
る。
come on, Ren. Huh. Ultimately, that stupid remark did absolutely nothing to clear the oppressive atmosphere within the dojo.
お疲れ。
I wordlessly took Kasumi's bag after treating her to a soda.
何すんのよ。
荷物持ち。やってやるからいつまでもしょぼくれるなよ。気持ち悪い。
ありがとう。でもいいよ。体調良くないんでしょ。
今のお前よりかマシだ。
She had to have realized that she did that at some point, I mean.
私は別にそんなわけじゃ。
だったらちゃんとしろよ。ほら。
I then gave her a slap on the butt with her bag to basically no reaction. She definitely wasn't in the right mind.
帰ろうぜ。
And without further conversation, we headed home. Kasumi remained unusually quiet. She responded when prompted, but I couldn't tell if she was listening or not, as she only gave half-hearted replies. Man, I couldn't quite get on her students like her. To think she would get this upset over breaking only one piece of school equipment. I figured it was best to just conveniently forget the extraordinary circumstances of the dummy's destruction. Regardless of how it happened, this was ultimately not a big deal. The question was, how could I get that across to her?
なあ、去年プールの女子シャワー室がぶっ壊れたの覚えてる？
何よ、いきなり。
だから女子シャワー室、水が出なくなったことあったよな。
あったような気がするけど。
あれ、俺のせい。
Ren, how could you?
は？
正確にはシローのせいっていうか、とにかく原因はあいつなんだけど、やったのは俺。我ながらうまく隠蔽したんだけど、バレちゃったな。内緒にしとけよ。
Wait, Shiro did it or you did it? Oh, did we actually did it, but Shiro took the fall? Was that what happened?
つまり何が言いたいのよ。
お前、右の胸にほくろあるよな。
Well, the music stopped, so that cannot be a good answer. That cannot be a good question. Looks like I just blew her mind. Yep.
いや、シローのやつがな、言ったんだよ。某占いによると、胸にほくろのある女が俺にとって一生のっていうか、とにかくそういうのになるって。俺はそういうのを信じないから、そんなやつが都合よくいるはずないって言ったら、じゃあかけようかってことになって、次の体育の時間、二人で天井裏から忍び込んだっていうオチだ。
Oh man, like Breakfast Club, man. Sneaking it through the air vents, man.
1万円かけてたんだよ、あの勝負。身近にそういう女がいるかいないか。だっていうのに、まったく。
They're really nice. I looked up into the air in mock exasperation, flicked the paralyzed Kasumi's right breast, and went on.
つけてんじゃねえよ、このバカ。俺の1万円返してくれ。
You know, there's a word called oversharing. I think this may have been one of those times. Surely we could have found a different story to ease her pain.
さあ、とっとと帰ろうか。
She will never forgive you. I hope you know that. 30, 40 years from now, she will still remember that.
ちょっとあんた待ちなさい。何じゃあ何あんたら二人して私の着替え覗いてたって嫌がるわけ？
いや、別にお前に焦点を絞ってたわけじゃないぞ。
We had a lot of women to check, and you know, they come two to a person, so.
はっきりして。
Facts for facts.
あ、覗いてた。
このド変態が
After reclaiming her back, Kasumi mercilessly delivered one hell of a hit.
お前、角で殴るな。鼻血出てるぞ。
やかましいわね、この変態。何私の知らないところでバカぶっちぎりの勝負してくれてんのよ。
落ち着け、ほくろ。
Molly. Huh?
誰がほくろよ。私のおっぱいに何か文句があるっての？
俺は1万円の損害を被ったんだ。
No breast is worth that.
シロはともかく、あんたはそんなことしないやつだと思ってたのに。
You don't know me at all, do you?
だってあいつが挑発するから。
He egged me on. It's peer pressure, peer pressure. Don't do drugs and all that, you know.
あんな高速バカの口車になんか、はいはい乗る なんでよ。
I can't wait till Shiro comes back in the spotlight, because you know he's coming back, right? Like, there's no way he's just like up and left forever.
はい。
だからなんであのバカ急にそんなことを言い出したのよ。
知らん。
That guy's thoughts had always existed on another dimensional plane, ever since we were kids.
ただ単に俺をからかいたかっただけじゃないのか、もしくは金がなかったか。
It's probably a little both.
どういう意味よ。
だからイカ様だったんだよ。あいつ前から知ってたんだ。
That bastard, he rigged it.
ガキの頃俺たち何度か一緒に風呂入ったことがあったよな。あいつその時のことを覚えてただけなんだよ。金渡してからそう言いやがった。
Thanks to that, I ended up getting a little pissed off, and in my rage, I accidentally broke one of the valves, which ended up stopping the water. Kasumi heaved large breaths, no doubt exhausted from swinging her bag around so much. After approaching her, I delivered another flick.
何よ変態。
けどそう考えると不公平だな。
は
俺が忘れたっていうのにあいつだけ覚えてるってのはなんかこう、お前この際だからもう一回俺と入ろうぜ。
Okay.
あんたいきなり何言い出すのよ。
We are very sleep deprived right now.
嫌なのか。
いや別に
So
そんな
you
わけじゃ
do.
なくてね。だって本当に子供の頃だし、私もよく覚えてないし、今更言われてもほら困るし。
ちょっと傷つくな。
I'm wounded.
だからなんで急にそんなこと言い出すのよ。
It's hurt more than Wilhelm did.
昔とは違うんだから、私も恥ずかしいし。
She began muttering something or other about how she was not ready for this yet.
別に白がどうとかそういうことじゃないんだよ。今更お風呂とか言われても昔みたいにはや
Well,
っぱ
it's
り
weird. What it is.
だから嫌がってるとかそういうのとは違くて、どっちかというと嬉しくなかったりしないこともないなんて思わないこともなかったりするような気がしないでもないんだけど。
Okay, slow down.
やっぱり今からするとか言われたら困っちゃうっていうか、ね、わかるでしょっていうかわかってよ。
Okay, people don't act like this in real life, I'll have you know. I mean, it's just a game, but... Then again, Nazis don't come back from, you know, after decades of silence.
レン聞いてる？
I'm sorry, what?
かすみ。
I love you.
何よ。
I love you so damn much. After placing my hands firmly on her shoulders, I went on in a calm tone.
お前さ、やっぱりすごい単純だよな。
ってあんた！
今度から単純キングと呼ばせてくれ。
Well, it's not as good as King Moron, but I'll take it. She's a girl anyway. She should be queen. Come on. Well, at least she was back to being her cheerful self for now. For now. She whacked me with her bag and then delivered both kicks and punches. With this much power, maybe she could break another training dummy or two, or 3 or 4, maybe 5. Maybe. I figured that was the best way to sum it up for now.
で、なんで公園なんかに来てんだよ。
Shouldn't we be home by now, you know, in the safety of the apartment? Not out in the middle of the park where murders happened. I went back home for a moment, but Kasumi immediately dragged me out and took me around the city. What was she up to? Now, taking me to a diner because she said cooking would be a pain, I could still get, right? No one likes to cook, go out to eat, or order in. But the problem came after that. She took me all around to the clothes stores, shoe stores, arcades, karaoke bar, and a bunch of other places. It's like we went on a date or something. I mean, sure, yeah, I decided to go along with it, and I didn't even feel like grumbling, but I just couldn't make heads or tails of the situation. Because this was basically like a date, and I was confused. And sleepy, and tired. So it wasn't the first time we'd done something similar, but why now all of a sudden? I've been up for 7 days. That's an insult. Yes, I'm tired.
結構な。
My voice reflected those words as I carried a whole bunch of shopping bags in my hands. Why would she walk around town so leisurely during these times, though? There was a limit to how reckless one could be. Ooh, this music is nice. I like all the music in this game so far. Let's listen to it for a minute. Okay. Most of the sighs I've been letting out were aimed toward myself. Judging from how Rusalka acted earlier, there seemed to be no immediate danger, but I would still be hard-pressed to call this a smart move.
買いすぎだろこれ。生活費とか大丈夫か？
平気っていうか気にしない。ストレス解消しなくちゃね。
俺のストレスは？
I have stress too. I'm tired. I want to go to bed.
今日は荷物持ちじゃなかったの？
I can't do that. Damn it, I can't even sleep. Yeah, I guess I did. Suppose I did say I'd carry her bags, but damn it.
きついならちょっとだけ休憩していく？
いや、それは。
The sun had completely set in the time we'd been walking around, to the point where it was already pitch black around us. I checked my watch to find that it was 7:50 p.m. It wasn't particularly late just yet, but we were getting there. This place was normally packed with couples, but right now we could only spot three or four other pairs aside from us. I'm so tired I can't even talk. How am I supposed to narrate my life?
なんでだよ。
本当に？なんか態度変くない？
Crap. Why was she only perceptive at weird times like this?
大丈夫だって。他にも人結構いるし、いざとなったら私が守るし。
Boy, as much as I would take her up on her offer, I don't even think she could protect us from those freaks. She has no idea how dangerous they are, and they're right under her nose. It's the scary part. They're blending in so well.
本当は誰もいないと思ってたんだけどね。だからほら、休憩休憩。
Well, we were in view of other people, so I figured it'd be fine. My nerves had been wearing out over the past few days, and having Kasumi drag me around town exhausted me physically as well. If it was only for a little bit. Then I suppose a quick 15 minutes couldn't hurt. If I try to rush us back home, she just gets suspicious.
わかったよ。
Once I'd finished worrying it over, I sat down on a bench, trying to endure the ominous chill rushing down my spine. I made an effort to talk as carefree as possible in order to hide it.
最近事件がなかったし、楽観主義のやつも結構いるみたいだな。
私みたいな。
Like you?
あ、お前筆頭。
Boy, me and Ren are like on the same level here.
で、それより誰もいなかったらなんかあるのか？
何もないけど、他に人がいると恥ずかしいじゃない。
そうか？
It wasn't like we were doing anything embarrassing. We weren't holding hands. that's just silly right there. That's too far. Well, maybe not us. I couldn't say the same for the others here. They're just going at it. Look at them. Like rabbits.
お前はお前で何覗きやってんだよ。
No shame.
だって目に入っちゃうんだからしょうがないじゃない。
だったらこっち来いよ。そんなとこに一人でいるから余計なものが目に入る。
No, we're going to almost kiss. But something's gonna break it up.
余計ってことはないんじゃない？一応みんな真剣なんだろうし。
俺らには関係ないことだろ。
In the end, they were just strangers. Who cares what they think, right? I let out a sigh while still staying on the bench, paying me no heed whatsoever. Kasumi kept looking around restlessly. I told you.
ああ、
ダメ、見ちゃダメ。
どっちなんだよ。
You can't just say that and expect someone not to look. It's human nature.
だから、
Kasumi looked at me all bashful and fidgety, her cheeks flushing red. I was totally unlike her. This was like a whole other side to her. Like, what happened, right?
隣、座っていい？ねえ。
Fine.
まあ変なことしないんなら。
何を変なことって、失礼ね。
そういうことだよ。
She began swinging her bag and shouting, "Good job, King Simple-Minded!"
こっぱずかしいんならさっさと座れよ。その代わり暴力禁止な。
あんたが余計なこと言わない限りしないわよ。
じゃあ黙っとく。
いいや、それもダメ。
Kasumi smiled widely and sat down next to me. Next to me. It's going so well.
その、さっきはごめんね。
It's a pretty
いろいろと。
sky.
うん。
Honestly, I didn't really know what she was apologizing for. Probably the whole Dojo incident.
私がやったのに片付けとかさせちゃって、変な気とかも使わせちゃって、こんな時間まで無理に付き合わせたりしちゃったりして。なんか今日レンに甘えてばっかりだね。呆れてない？
Nah.
別にいつも呆れてるし。それに最初の2つはどうでもいいだろう。お前掃除下手だから片付けなんかさせられないし。
I can't have you wander in the streets of Tokyo. We're not in Tokyo. No, wherever we are. I can't have you wander in the streets of this place all alone.
まあ最後のだけはちょっとだけ勘弁してほしいんだけど。
ああ、ひどいな。私としてはむしろそこだけ多めに見てほしいんだけど。
現在進行中なのにか？
現在進行中だからこそなの。
Kasumi then grabbed hold of my hand and gently placed something into my palm. I heard the clinking of a chain. Something hard to the touch. What was this?
プレゼント。迷惑かけたお詫びも兼ねてね。
Is it a friendship bracelet? I love those things. Oh!
どうこれ？気に入ってくれたかな？
Oh, that's pretty. I like that. In my palm rested a silver choker, but the design felt a bit unusual.
これ俺に？
It's a compass, kinda, right? Is that what it's supposed to be?
きっと似合うよ。露店で見つけた時ビビってきたから。
お前に来てもしょうがないと思うんだけど。
But it was a pretty nice gift, honestly. No one ever gives me presents.
高かった？
まあちょっとだけね。
Probably cost somewhere between 20,000 and 30,000 yen. I kind of felt bad for getting something like this when it wasn't even my birthday.
早めのクリスマスプレゼントだとでも思ってよ。気にしちゃうならお返しくれればいいから。
Why would we give it back? That would be completely rude.
わかった。
Come to think of it, Sister Lisa said that Himuro's birthday was on Christmas. That was still another 2 weeks off, but you'd have to buy her a gift together beforehand. I was broke though, I had no money.
とりあえずありがとうな。なるべくつけるようにする。
今つけなさいよ。
Kasumi wrapped her hands around my neck while holding the choker.
私がつけてあげるね。
Look at that. We're having a moment. Aw, it's cute. Well, whatever.
あれちょっと動かないでね。あれおかしいな。これどうなって。
She was so clumsy.
あいた、お前髪の毛巻き込んでる。
ごめん。でも動いちゃダメ。
I don't like how she tore my hair. If I were to move my head down, then me and Kasumi's cheeks would be right on top of each other.
ドアップかわいいね。なんでそんなに嫌そうな顔するかな。
男に可愛いは禁句なんだよ。
I don't know about that.
そうなの？でも事実じゃん。
Sounds like a music box, doesn't it?
くどいなお前も。
Sometimes I wondered if the creatures known as women knew any adjectives apart from cute. How much longer was she gonna waste on trying to put a simple choker on me?
なんかいいね、こういうのも。
Maybe she's doing it on purpose. On top of that, she was staring right at my face. It's embarrassing.
その目ムカつくから閉じろよ。
Close them, please.
いやだ。目が閉じたら。
絶対嫌だ。
どうしてよ。
身の危険を感じる。
Danger. Danger's all around me. I can't close my eyes. Even for a moment.
いたずらとかしないからさ。
It's not you.
それ 100% 嘘だろ。
Wait a second. Wait a second. Alright, you wait about 5 seconds.
お前ちょっと今日おかしいぞ。何かあったか？
That's, yeah, right? She's been odd this whole time. This is a complete 180 of what she is.
実は2日目なのですよ。
You shit me, right? Damn it. We were right.
アホか。
アホって何よ。本当のことなのに。
Why do you say that?
本当ならなおさらそんなの公言するなよ。年頃の乙女が。
It's very uncouth for a young lady to announce her periods.
うわ、おさんくさ。
Shut up.
と思ったけど、やっぱりいいわ。乙女じゃないし。
Do you want her to take the choker back or not?
何？
Man, we were not getting anywhere. No matter how long this went on. As Kasumi rummaged by the water, I pressed down her hands from above and set the choker on myself.
ケチ。
お前、やっぱりわざとやってただろ。
I knew it. Taking it slow. What in the world was she thinking?
でもそれやっぱり似合うよ。
そうか？
そうなの。似合わないものをプレゼントするほど私センス悪くないもん。それでね、水星なんだって。
は？
だから水星、星、マーキュリー。オッケー？
何が？
Kasumi's confusing remarks pretty much made a question mark pop up above my head.
それのデザイン、お店の人が言ってたけど、太陽
Really?
系の縮図なんだって。
Hang
もう
on.
一回見てみ。
We gotta take another look at that thing.
ね、そんな感じでしょ。
Oh, shit, they're right. Those little planets.
まあ、言われてみれば。
I thought the pendant's ornament was a wheel, gear, perhaps a clock, but upon closer inspection, I realized it was indeed the solar system, with 9 planets encircling the center. That's cool. Well, I don't see 9 planets. Hang on. I'm sure they're there. We just can't see them.
だからそれに合わせて9種類のタイプがあるんだって。それはその水星バージョン。
Oh. Oh, okay. That's the... Okay. Oh, I'll get it now. Okay.
へえ。
It wasn't the latest model, seeing how Pluto was still there. But I got the idea. I filled it around a bit with the Mercury version around my neck.
でもなんで俺に水星なんだ?
Because we're small.
ぴったりだから。
But we're close to the sun. We have no personality, aka atmosphere, but that's okay. Don't need one.
どこが?
I didn't recall making any friends with Mercurians. As I puzzled over the issue, Kasumi made a snort like she was hot stuff.
まず時間にうるさい。すぐ逃げる。足が速い。そして意外に手も速い。水星はね、盗賊と旅人の星なんだって。
Really? I didn't know that.
ちょうどそんな感じ。
Was she trying to insult me? Because she was doing a good job at it.
私に内緒ですぐどっか行っちゃうとことか自覚してる？
一応。
なんか距離置いてる感じに透かしててちょっと感じ悪いのは？素人微妙に怪しかったり。
おい。
私をすぐのけ者にしたり。
それは
何か悩んでるくせに教えてくれない？ちょっとだけ悔しいよ。
かすみ。
What had gotten into all of a sudden? How much did she?
ねえレン、私はあんたの味方だよ。辛い時は頼ってほしいな。剣道強いんだぜ、私って。
知ってるよ。
You're damn good at kendo. But regardless, there was no way she could match them. And not just her. Not one. Not Himuro or anyone. Not even the police. Could do anything to those freaks. So what the hell was I doing in a place like this?
私はレンの力になりたいよ。忘れないでほしいな、そこんところ。だからね、それは戒めなの。勝手にいなくなるなよ、旅人さん。
She proceeded to finish that sentence by pounding her chest. I could have sworn she said something similar just the other day.
シロがさ、あいつがいなくなっちゃって、その上あんたまでいなくなったら私辛いし。つまりこれはそういうことなんですよ。いや、なんか恥ずかしいね、こういうの。
Seeing Kasumi make that bitter, embarrassed smile hurt, forcing me to instinctively glance away from her. Maybe I didn't have any right to say those kinds of things. As for why? No. Don't think about it. I would never get her involved in all that. I had to put on an act. I knew that by all rights I should have avoided getting close to anyone in particular at this time. But...
約束するよね。
I couldn't just reject Kasumi here. I felt hesitant to completely discard the last remaining point of contact I had with my normal day-to-day life. That kind of reliance on others was honestly pathetic of me. I was a human, not one of them. Kasumi was the one who allowed me to believe that, but if I let go of her, I wouldn't be able to ever return. I wouldn't be able to feel the sunlight ever again. The last time I was made keenly aware of my idiocy, stupidity, and foolishness was that incident with Shiru.
俺は
We know how that ended. And as a man, I had to do everything I could to put on a brave face for women.
レン？
I felt dizzy and nauseous. My vision slanted and blacked out. I felt intoxicated. To call it a daydream wouldn't do it justice. I could feel the fatigue expelling from my body as I began to faint. Shit, I had to.
おかえり。
I felt the same as I did on that day of that nightmare. And it had to be now, of all times.
また会えたね、カリオストロ。